Good evening.
And we push the buttons. Say it together, fellas and ladies.
I've been pushing everybody's buttons this week.
Oh my goodness, there has been button pushing in the arcadosphere, hasn't there?
I think everybody's pushing everybody's buttons. It's just get the product out there. Give us something to talk about.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's plenty to talk about this week, Paul. I think we've got we'll cover news. We can share some updates. We've got other news that you don't have yet because that's what we do. We might even jump into conjecture. I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen crazier things on a Thursday night.
It could happen. It could happen.
It could happen. Awesome. Who all we got? Who all we got with us? Paul, am I doing the read-offs today?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, last week was pretty darn good. Why don't you do that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got Israel in the house. What's up, yo, my boy? Never forget, smash that like button. Absolutely. Interact. Vic Vicious, he's got the opinions, and he's spelled them out for you.
Ooh.
Interesting. Nothing too shocking there. Ganja Game, and you blowing smoke, brother? I bet you are. Keith Myers, they did reveal we got some of them out, but we've got more to talk about. Triumph or Die, not a fan of the Street Fighter side art, straight trash.
Ooh.
Yikes. Not in the gray area today, are we, Triumph or Die? He's got the opinion.
Ooh.
There it is. No light up coin door? What's that about? Huge step backwards, the opinion on the screen angle. Not the first person to say that, but okay, not for everyone. Arcade Insiders trying to put the fire out before it burns the house down. I am Rappy. Nintendo Deluxe Cab, I don't think so. Metrocade. If it's not Mortal Kombat or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, what would have been leaked, blah, 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 blah. And the confirmed comment, we will see. We will see.
Remember that.
One more thing. Hopefully not one more disappointment. All right. Well, hopefully. Hopefully we're not disappointing people. Hope it's an XL shooter. Well, I hope I don't hurt your feelings. Provolone Joe, here you go. Drinking a beer with you tonight, my brother.
Oh, by the way, Provolone Joe, I got your follow-up email. He sent he sent a game room tour video.
Oh, sick.
Which was really cool. He's got a really cool space, but none of the machines were turned on. So it was like not the whole way there. So he's gonna re-record it and send that to us. So
I can't wait to see it. If you don't know what the hell Paul's talking about, we have through our Discord channel and other ways invited everybody to share their home arcades with us. So if you've got a real dope setup that you want to get your brag in and show off all the hard work you did, do that. Yeah. If you just want to show off that you bought your first cab and you want everyone to cheer you on and make you feel special, we'll do that too. So we want a little bit of everybody. The people getting started, the people who've been doing it for years. Tom Ball can't make the show tonight, but he is going to watch that replay. Happy Friday Eve. That's the only way to think about a Thursday. Mark Gainey, hope it's not a deluxe. It's not. Okay, Tom Ball. I'll bet a Moon Pie and RC Cola we're going to see a Cubert countercade tonight. Whew, I'm getting a Moon Pie and an RC Cola, Paul.
Love it.
All right, let's see. Right now, only thing on my list is the OutRun. That OutRun did look pretty dope. We'll talk about that. Amanda Wortman, I'm guessing Paul and Roxy are in there, and Roxy's nice enough to let you guys all hang out and watch us in her arcade. So there it is. Dark Tech Kelly all in on OutRun, y'all. Hello there to Chaotic, BPR, Sean Lawford.
Yeah.
Evening. Wanted that BurgerTime arcade pivoted the minute they announced the OutRun. It is so choice. There we go. Already some competition for the wallet share. Unchained 81, 100% agreement with Vic Vicious. All right, we got some camaraderie going. Demiser, what is up? Wafflehead's going to be really disappointed it's not Spy Hunter. Oh, we got Bobby in the house. Just want to thank you for starting your countdown before 8 p.m. so the show actually starts. There we go.
Do we not do that? I try.
I don't. Well, what's the time zone? What's the time zone? Maybe.
Well, I mean, here's probably what happens. We're talking off stage, and sometimes we just kind of keep talking as if it's an actual show.
That literally happens every week, and then we realize that we are going to be a minute late. Yeah. Way to keep us honest, Bobby. Rigger Steve just saying hi to his friend Brian. Glad to see you guys are getting along. Chaotic BPR, his good friend Steve. Excellent. We're all in this together. Mark Gainey, $10 super chat already. Give me news of my arcade accurate Journey arcade cabinet from Valley Midway with a bonus game of Atari ET. Happy Thursday, Paul. I hope this announcement is actually good. Someone's going to think it's good. Someone's going to think it's probably terrible.
I hope it is too.
The way it goes. The Real Zim saying, what's up? Josh Dendy, the #1 pantless moderator on YouTube in his own mind. Welcome to the greatest show on earth. Steve and his buddy are still going back and forth. Love the love. Look at these strapping gentlemen.
Hey, before we get too far, Josh, moderator, made me think of the fact that one of our other moderators, Moat, is at Comic-Con today, traveling. And if you wouldn't mind, Josh, if you could throw Moat and, let's see, we got Michael B., Bill's Retro, James Hates Everything. I think those are the main ones, I think. Yep. That are covering the show. If you wouldn't mind throwing their channels in the chat, there's probably going to be all kinds of videos and content coming out from those guys, and I'm sure they're all going to have different takes. I saw them on the Instagram live feed today, just like during the unveiling and stuff, and they had a lot of comments and thoughts, so check those guys out.
Look at that. A year ago, they were blocking us from launching it. Now we're all sharing links. Look at how adults get along. The Real Console Fanboy. Sorry to be a bother. Same question he asks every week. Console Fanboy, I'm going to ask you to stick around today, sir. No early dismissal for you. Arcade1Up official letting us know that they're watching. I don't know how else to interpret that.
Yeah.
Chaotic BPR talking about some stuff. Heard you, we want you to be on the show? I don't know. Maybe.
I wouldn't mind that. Yeah.
Is that a thing we should do sometime?
We should do that. Well,
hell yeah.
You know, so there were issues obviously with some sharing of time slots in the day.
Oh, okay.
In the past. So you know, it'd be good if we could chat someday. I think that would be great.
Hey, more to come. Maybe someday we'll all talk at the same time. Josh Dendy talking about stuff again. Supreme Star Hawk wore my Arcade1Up shirt today. Hey, I've been wearing my Arcade1Up hat. It's a good time. Yeah. Let's see. Tim York, Dr. Torque. What is up, sir? Glad to hear you. Mortal Kombat XL Supreme or the world burns. Goodness gracious. Threatening everybody with the apocalypse. It doesn't get worse than that. All right, Metrocade. First time watching y'all. Well, first time shouting you out then. Welcome to the party.
Love it.
Nate, that Ms. PAC-MAN Deluxe is on my radar. It looks sharp. It looks sharp, and it'll be nice to get that one in the mix.
We're going to talk about it, yeah.
Mighty Joe, the 1-Up reveal was almost sadder than Shill's traveling thousands of miles to unveil it. All right. Well, that's one man's opinion.
I wonder how he feels, though.
I wonder how he really feels. Israel Gaming wants me to say hi to him again, so I will. Hey, buddy. Josh Dendy with the shout-outs. Let's see. Is there anyone?
Did you get Sean Loughran before? Maybe you did.
I got Sean Loughran.
All right.
Sure did.
Okay. How about Mighty Joe?
Mighty Joe, Broken Iconics. Yeah, we'll talk about that. CPM Audio, what's good, brother? ASO Jax, happy Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, still haven't seen those. I'll just keep spending money on Mondo Vinyl Records. All right.
I want that Smash TV, too. Yeah, I hear you.
Jeff in the house, aloha. It's been a minute. Enjoying the announcements. Cancer Biscuit, one of my favorite names on the interwebs. JJ, sounds like A1Up's new Street Fighter has online play, a 19-inch BOE monitor, is several $100s less than Iconic. Will this tip the scales in their favor?
Well,
the market is a battlefield. Dark Tech Kelly, cleaning up the garage. The Godfather, everyone tip your hat to Mr. B. Kirby, the Godfather of the home arcade space. What is up to you as well, sir?
And I got to apologize, Bill, for being super late on pretty much every reply that I attempt to make this week has been just a little nuts. And I know that you know that feeling because you've had several nuts weeks in a row. So apologies for that, but we'll get in touch soon.
If you don't know, B. Kirby single-handedly keeps the city of Chicago running.
Pretty much.
Sometimes he's got stuff to do. My cock hurts, but we're still looking for those club store discounts.
Priorities.
Priorities. Put some ice on it. Get the wallet out. Provolone Joe, like the reveals. Likes that Sonic Supreme.
Yeah, I'm seeing lots
Do
of comments.
Pac-Man a little bit odd on the eyes there. All right, let's see. Who else? Jim Pacers fan, what did you miss? You missed me saying hi. Steps Turbo, what's good? Excited for that Street Fighter Supreme.
Yeah.
Looking pretty nice. Steps is a fan of the online play, so probably happy to see that. If I'm misrepresenting you, Steps, you go ahead and keep me honest in the chat. Oh, 300-pound black guy wants some more news, wants us to get to it.
Gosh, we get everybody. Holy cow.
Dude, everyone and their cousins here today. Daniel,
Do we get
Costco
Daniel?
Pac-Man,
Yeah.
way better still. Chris,
okay.
Outrun is most appealing, but still not interested. All right, he's got a higher bar. Saying Spirits, that mug is huge. Probably talking about this bad boy right here. All right,
We got a pub table fan. That's interesting.
pub
I haven't
table?
seen a whole lot talk about that yet, but that's cool.
There we go. The pub table's a cool thing. A cool thing. Console fanboy can't breathe. Oh man. I finally shut you up. No, I'm just kidding. Nothing but love. Brooklyn Menace, what's up?
Yes, Brooklyn's here. One of our earliest supporters, by the way. In fact, Brooklyn, I think you were the very first subscriber we ever had. So
We can verify that.
much love for that. Yeah.
Arcade1Up, 8 new cabinets announced. That's enough for now. I hate to be the guy in charge of marketing and content there. He is not going to have a life for the foreseeable future.
Guy must be miserable, whoever that
Oh,
is.
my goodness. Probably just wants to go in his room and put on a record. Let's see who else.
See if we got everybody. Lisa Jax, yeah.
Charlie Murphy. The best thing about Street Fighter Supreme is that it has Street Fighter 1. Oh, I can't say that last part, but Street Fighter is a classic.
Well, and here's somebody that kind of agrees.
Street Fighter 1 is so bad, it's good.
Well, and that's kind of one of the first things I noticed about that, Caps. Like, oh, Street Fighter, like not Street Fighter 2, the Street Fighter, like the original one. That's
Oh, my goodness.
yeah.
Trip down memory lane. All right, I think we wrapped
cool.
it up all. We said hi to everyone. That took 15 whole minutes.
My goodness, I think we're done, right? We can hit the.
We have way too many fans who are way too friendly and show up and engage with us way too much, Paul. We don't deserve it.
Oh, Vic says are we backwards this week? Huh.
Oh,
What if we just go like, boom, the technology.
that actually, thank you for calling that out, Vic, because that was actually bugging me as well. Read everyone's name again now. Saying we're not going to do that. We are definitely not going to do that. All right, Paul.
Should we do something? Jeez.
Oh, might as well talk about something. What should we talk about first?
Well, unfortunately, nothing happened this week, so
Yeah, it's been a slow week, not a ton of announcements.
yeah.
Oh, brief recap. Let's see. So, brief recap before this week started. If you weren't on last week, we had Tim from Wonderland Amusement on. He let everybody know there was some all the software updates have been out. It sounds like they fixed a bunch of those bugs. Also, they announced that any of the warp playfields they're supporting by shipping out new playfields if you need to get yours fixed up. So if you didn't get that message, there you go. That could be important. If you bought a $1,000 pinball machine, you might want it to work. That's a reasonable expectation. To support the products there. What else has happened in the past couple weeks? We've got announcement from Iconic Arcade.
Yeah.
Next week we should be getting our patch, our patch that to end all patches. It fixes everything.
There's a lot riding on that one patch.
There's a lot riding on that one patch, and if I'm not on the show next week, it's because the patch was going to be delayed, and I just jumped off a cliff and decided to go do something else with my life because my blood pressure's way too high over this patch. Paul.
Well, and somebody said I don't think anybody's actually done the update yet. From what I understand, very few people actually requested the early access update, which is more, it's more manual. You got to hook up your
it's pretty
USB
intensive.
cable. And
Yeah,
all
it's
that.
not.
Yeah.
It's not just dropping in. Oh, here's a USB. Like plug it in real quick. There's like steps and procedures and stuff. But it's next week. Next week's the day. I just had a call with Iconic today.
Nice.
Followed up on them. Got the confirmation. They're still on track. no expectation that that's going to shift out. So a week out, and it's still a week out. So
and online play, is that still? I mean, that's what was
still in its first form.
Okay.
Now Daniel's upset. He wants me on the left and you on the right, Paul.
Oh, jeez.
We should. Can we do like a spinning carousel where like it just rotates around in a circle?
What we need is something else on screen to distract from us. That's the key.
But there's no content from this past week that we can possibly put on screen to share with people.
Well, do we want to go back to the first? I guess you call it like an actual announcement, announcement.
So first announcement. Take it away, Paul.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I think the big thing was Iconic earlier this week. I guess it was Monday.
Yep,
announced
the 20th.
Announced their new BurgerTime cabinet, and I'm gonna bring up. I have sort of a different way of looking at this, maybe than what you guys would typically see, but I think this cabinet looks great. I want everybody to take a look at it. Now, which one is the Iconic? It doesn't have a riser. I'll give you that. So that one on the left is out. That actually has a riser on top of a riser, which is pretty hilarious. But that is the one on the left is the Arcade1Up 3/4 scale, obviously. The limited edition, I think was, I forget, like maybe 2,000 units or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's the original Arcade1Up. The one in the middle is, of course, your real BurgerTime from back in the day. The one on the right, which unfortunately this view is semi-obscuring, let me change that. That's the new Iconic version that was just announced, and man, it looks good.
I think it looks great.
Yeah,
that looks great. I was actually really impressed. The details that you don't think about, like people think you just like push print and these things make themselves, right? But there's so many. You know these are split cabs, right? And there's so many lines on the figure on the side that to like get all those lining up right and that looking as sharp as it does. I mean that's a very impressive sort of feat that they managed there, and it looks incredible. I mean,
it does.
Very excited. Awesome that now we're gonna have an Iconic with a vertical screen. So for the modders who, not that I support modding, but I know there's like one of you in the chat that likes to do those kind of things. So for the guys who are like, hey, I want a full size, with a vertical, like that's a pretty cool opportunity. But just we've got a lot of cabs that are the shapes we're used to. I'd be hard pressed to think of a more iconic, like you just see the silhouette,
right,
and you know what cab it is, right? Like it's so original and so cool. So
there's nothing else.
That's my initial take.
Yeah, you couldn't have put like a teaser silhouette out there. Like everybody would have known instantly exactly what it was, because you're right.
Yep.
It is absolutely iconic. Pun intended.
Pun intended.
Here's the funny thing that I just figured out today, or realized. This is being advertised as a 9/10 scale reproduction, or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of actually a 10/10 scale. Plus.
I thought it was an 11. I thought it was an 11/10 scale. Technically.
From what I could find, the original is 67 inches tall. This is 68 inches tall. The original was 24 inches wide. This is 24.6 inches wide. It's bigger than the original.
There we go.
Now, it's technically not quite as deep, so that they do have some, concessions to that, which is great. And of course, the original weighed 350 pounds because of the monitor and everything else. But maybe, Sean or somebody else out there wants to correct me, but I was like, wow, all right. So we're going just literally full size now, like full stop.
Fuller than full size.
Yeah, right.
Fuller than full size. We added an inch, which I know there's a lot of guys in the chat who've been clamoring to just add 1 inch for years now.
Just an inch. But
just an inch is the difference between good and great.
Yeah. So we got a 19.5-inch viewable screen area from the 24-inch display. It's same one as I understand that's in the Street Fighter. Interestingly, cam locks are being used this time. Some folks before seemed to have an issue with cam locks, but I think it's a much cleaner option. So
I still haven't put together one with the cam locks. Is it like, is there anyone in the chat who's done one yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
That has an opinion. I like the look. So
Yeah.
the last one I put together, I was killing my. It was I think it was a Terminator cab. When I was putting it together, it was the last one I put together, and I was like, my thumbs were killing me putting in each of those plugs. I'm like, I'm glad after this we're not doing this anymore. Just knowing that we were switching to the cam locks. And,
Yeah.
so that'll be nice.
I love how it looks. I don't have experience other than IKEA, but here's the one comment that I've seen quite a bit, and this is a tough one. $800 for BurgerTime is a lot. I have to absolutely agree with that. I mean, I think this is as close as this hobby is ever gonna get to something that we can say, well, it looks exactly like the real thing. I'm sure it's going to play well. It comes with a 4-way restrictor gate, so you don't have any weird issues with accidentally doing a diagonal and having Peter Pepper or whoever your character is get stuck in a corner or whatever. But $800, like, ugh.
We'll try to get it as low as we can. I know
Yeah.
I know Iconic wants it to be as low as possible. I personally like try to be careful with what we're projecting retails at, because I don't know if anyone watches any of the news, but like fuel prices could go nuts any day now. And if fuel
Yes.
prices go nuts any day now, shipping charges are about to go nuts. So
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, if you can get it on a pre-order, that's going to be your best price. I'm working right now with Iconic Arcade, similar to how on Arcade1Up.com, they're going to have the best prices on the internet, where we're able to undercut Amazon, basically take that upcharge off. We're working with Iconic Arcade to also deliver that. So hopefully that's up and running really soon. We've got both our teams
Good.
working every day on it. So that'll get you guys a savings. And then obviously VM Innovations, if we have to go that route and do it through our page, we can do that. I think we take Klarna, on
Yeah.
our page. So if you
Yeah.
need to do a few, break it into a few payments, you can go ahead and do that. Don't go into debt.
No, don't do that.
I don't want anyone to do that.
So the other interesting sort of tidbit is that Game List. It's got 18 Data East titles. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say these are on the obscure side. Not necessarily bad. I hear several of them are really fun to play, but I gotta be honest. I think I've played 3 of these, maybe, and probably another 3 or 4 I've never even heard of. So maybe that's just me, and other folks are like, oh yeah, I remember SRD from back in the day or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's fine, because we've talked about like maybe making games that are focused really around one marquee title, so to speak. And that's clearly BurgerTime. So maybe this is just kind of like, well, it's a bonus. You don't buy it for these games anyway, and there you go. But it's an interesting list. I've never seen one with so many niche titles as this.
Well, we'll see what happens, right? So, like, clearly, if you're buying this for BurgerTime. Like, this cab, I don't know. I guess I'll put out the challenge. I don't know how you reskin this, that it would ever be anything other than a BurgerTime cab, right? Like, that is what it is. That's why you would buy it, is for that. I'll be honest. I do like getting these cabs and kind of just digging into the obscure titles, because a lot of these, like, you probably aren't going to come across in an arcade or whatever. And I've always been pleasantly surprised when I've dug into a new one, like the first time I played Bubbles. Right, that's a great example where it just seems like such a random game, and then you start playing it, you're like, this is dumb, and then an hour later you're like, yeah, I know, I'm still playing. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm really excited just to see what all comes out. I know I saw a few shooters on there, look like a couple like 1944-esque titles, which is cool. That's really up my alley, so I'll be interested. And but like, let's be honest, dude, this is a cab that you add to your collection, and the same way that the Alpha 2 artwork was. It's a showpiece. It's a conversation starter.
Right.
It's one that you bring your buddies in and you brag about, like, dude, look how freaking dope this thing is. BurgerTime's going to be right up there. Same exact thing where people are going to come in, they're going to ooh and ah and want to play it, and if you got the space for it, you'll it's a great addition. So I'm really excited to see this thing hitting the markets here soon.
I'm excited for, even if it's not a title that interests me personally, I think the execution of this is just spot on. Like, I feel like there's, usually I can nitpick something about the design that's just like, it's not quite there, it's close, whatever, give them a pass. Nothing. I mean, I'm looking at it top to bottom, just like, this could be something that would legitimately fool a person if they walked into your basement and saw this sitting in the corner. They'd say, "Oh, BurgerTime, I remember that from back in the day." It would look just like that.
And I think John had some different measurements than what you had called out. So maybe this is actually slightly small. But I mean, we're talking like an inch here, an inch there compared to an original machine. If this thing's sitting in your basement, for all intents and purposes, it's a full size. John, I think if you're still in the chat here, does this one have the new coin door style? I think it was going
I did see the new coin door style. I don't think I had a blown up one handy, but yes, it had like the gray sort of kind of what you call it, but where the coin comes out.
Yeah, where it's got like the dish sort of piece.
Right.
So I'm really for all the guys and gals out here who do the modding. I'm really all right. Sweet, John just confirmed this does have the new door.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see who's gonna mod it first. That obviously you can't make it a commercial machine, but I could absolutely see someone with a soldering iron and an extra hour of time, sort of like wire this somehow into like the start menu. That instead of pushing the start button, you're putting a quarter in and it drops out, and then the game fires up. Like I think if someone does that, that would probably be a mod that you could monetize somehow or make a video and teach people how to do it. But very cool to sort of have that kind of like wink, nod. I mean, it's begging to be done at this point, right? So,
and for people
super cool. And I like, John, that's one of the things that I like about working with you is it's like the idea to add those kind of details, right?
Yeah.
Like we always talk about the things. I mean, are we getting to a 19-inch? How big is the machine? And that's like, dude, it's going to be so cool to be able to walk over and just like drop a quarter in the thing, like and have it roll back out. And like those attention to details are what I think are pushing that forward. So,
and I like how it pushes
cool.
the category as a whole. So you kind of feel like, all right, now they stepped up their game in this way or in this game. So you can kind of feel like, we're moving in the right direction. We keep making progress. So it's great. Yeah. It's really cool.
Josh Dendy said some people prefer smaller. Dude, you know what though? He's not wrong. So I think I mentioned this on the last show, but I put in the NBA Jam Slimcade, and I've been a pretty big disparager of the Slimcade style in general. But that actually right there. That happens to be where like my surge protector and all the wall warts ended up. So having like that wall space, hey, sometimes smaller's better. All right. Is that a dragon on my mug? It absolutely is. If you see, it's kind of one of those etched mugs there. So
I think in my case, the Iconic forced every other game is like 4 or 5 inches forward from the wall, so the Iconic can be the whole way back against the wall. So that's where I get that space for the the power strip and all, because it's so deep. And but it's cool.
Well, you heard it here first. Paul is getting it real deep.
Nope.
So
I said
way
it is.
to go, Paul.
Way
to receive that.
Hello.
quarter arcade BurgerTime, dude. That's a nice looking quarter arcade. A few people have shown those off.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Then also, I mean, we didn't talk about Double Dragon because obviously this was the new exciting announcement, but Double Dragon's still on the docket too, and that's one that I've been waiting for. I mean, I know we're kind of moving from Gen X to Millennial on that title, so B Kirby, don't send anyone after me, but that's one I'm really looking forward to, and can't wait to get more updates there. Devastator Omega, 4 inches deep. The 300-pound black guy said that's what she said.
John said we're going to have some updates on the game list, so that'll be interesting. I don't know what that means, and I'll just leave that comment there.
Hey, you know what? John has a way to keep us guessing, Paul.
He does.
He's always good at
Yep.
giving you what you want, at leaving you at just wondering what's coming next. So, the marketing genius that is John D.
Yeah, I've got some questions on timing, but hoping to have the Iconic folks back on the show soon. We'll
Shipping to consumers in
do some
August
chatting.
or only up for pre-order in August. We are finalizing those dates, so we will get those dates out as soon as we know what they are. We've learned from our mistakes, and I'm not sharing any dates until things are on boats, because otherwise I'll get burned.
We know how that works. And I just want to say one thing here. For whatever reason, Chris and I are almost always on the same page. I was thinking to myself the other day, what are the 80s titles? John's harassing me about, it's not 90s, so I guess you don't like it. It's not really it, but I was thinking like, what 80s titles would I be personally enthused about? Tempest was one of them. It's a cool looking cab. It's just a great shape. It's a fun game. There's some other stuff you can do with the controls for that. So, plus, when I had a Tempest, the encoder board went out on that thing 4 or 5 times. So, I'd love a properly working Tempest. But anyway.
Well, and to the point, I mean, we've got a horizontal screen form factor. Now we've got a vertical screen form factor.
Yeah.
So, always keeping that community that likes to do fancy things. What option do we need next? Maybe something with a trackball, maybe something with a joystick.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. John will figure something out, though.
I do like, too, I should mention this, the sort of, I think it's called lean back, the style of the screen where it's like kind of deep set into the cabinet. You and I were talking, earlier in the week, but that sort of like immersion that you get just being like in that space is cool. So I definitely noticed how laid down that monitor was. Like, dang, that's cool. It's just like the original. I love it.
Yep, that's very cool. Kind of like the Pac-Mans and everything too. That like laid back. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, speaking of other Arcade1Ups, I hear there were some other things happening this week.
So, what happened?
There's some little, like, I don't know, toy or comic show or something going on.
Oh, yeah. All the boys are out at Comic-Con.
It's nerd
having
shit.
fun, pulling blankets off new toys, blocking each other's shots so they can play games.
Oh, man.
I bet it's ruckus. So Sonic.
Well, maybe, yeah, I was going to say we should probably just start the one that people sort of know about already.
Yep, so we saw the Sonic come out.
Yeah, well, what's interesting to me is we got another one.
That's right.
And it's different.
It's a deluxe.
It's a deluxe.
And the guy who bought the deluxe said, "Hey, can you not put tails on it?" Hi. Hi. I said, "Hey, what if we had one that didn't have tails? Because tails isn't in the game." And it's like, whoa, we could do that. And I'm not gonna lie, and I know I'm partial. I like mine better. I like the look of my deluxe better.
When I saw it earlier, my very first thought was, this looks a lot like the cartridges that I used to hand out back in the day when I worked in retail and sold Genesis cartridges. And that makes sense because the games are, basically they're console games. So why not do an homage to console gaming? That to me is, I think it would have been, the Supreme version would have been better received if you had kind of done that acknowledgement for the community to say, okay, we know this wasn't really an arcade cabinet at any point. These weren't arcade games per se. We're doing an homage to the console games that you liked in a cabinet form. Cool, I get that. And there it is. So
look at that. What a novel idea. Novel idea. And people in the chat are all agreeing with me, which literally never happens. Can't wait to tune into all the other shows where they will tell you why I am Satan and am never right. It doesn't have Knuckles because it featured in any of the games. There we go.
It's going to be trash no matter what. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. But, That's par for the course. Now, a couple kind of interesting details for people just kind of getting caught up on the happenings of today. They have the same games, same game list. The Supreme is only available at Costco. The Deluxe, you can tell me. I think Amazon, Walmart, Target,
all the places,
all the places
except for so the Deluxe. That'll be the one that you'll be able to order online. That's also the one that I'm going to work with our retail partners to get in the stores. So your Nebraska Furniture Mart, especially, that's going to be there. I know there's some costs about the price. We're going to try to get the price lower than that if we can, and try to probably be a little bit less than the club store. But like I said, there's things going on in the news, and I'm not gonna lock in on projected retail at this point. So
and I think that's some of the.
We'll see
I should
where it is.
probably preface some of the, like when I was doing posts earlier today to try to, get some official information out there because I knew stuff would be dropping. Prices are changing. They're fluctuating. Nobody wants to quote one thing and then 3 months later, have to raise the price or something. So
yeah, and I think also they're looking that previously it had always been that the club store was priced way higher than the Deluxes, but you got a larger form factor. I think that what we're seeing with the strategy, and Arcade1Up official can correct me if I'm wrong because it's not my business. But Costco has always, and the club stores have always had the sort of motto that you get more, and at a per unit price it ends up being less. So it would make sense that they have a larger version at a good, very competitive retail. That's what you pay for the membership, right? So do I love to compete against that? Not necessarily, but my artwork's better. So, who's to say? Who's to say?
No, that's fair. So,
JJ makes a good point. If I lower the price, I will sell more. There's a technical term for that. It's called price elasticity. And my goal is to get the price as low as I possibly can while still being able to have a business. So.
Well, that makes sense. Well, I think, you know what, let's talk about, what else we got? We had a Ms. PAC-MAN Deluxe that, I'm trying to find an image for it, and actually, I don't think I grabbed one of those, but we can talk about it quickly here. It's the pink and blue one, finally.
Yeah, so close your eyes, picture Miss Pac-Man, and then picture that as a deluxe. And that's exactly what it looks like. You don't have a render, Paul?
Well, what happened, I do. There we go.
Okay.
What happened was I was waiting actually for more images, and I only got the one. So there it is.
enough.
There's the one we've got. It looks pretty good. Looks like what you'd expect a Ms.
It's
Pac-Man.
sexy. Can I say Miss Pac-Man's sexy without being
sure.
disrespectful to my wife? I love my wife. She's the most beautiful woman in the world. Miss Pac-Man's sexy, though. That's a nice looking cabinet.
So now people might be saying, like, well, wait, haven't we seen that already? Almost. Not quite. Probably what you're remembering is either the black version, that was the Vault edition, and that was about 3 years ago. Very similar, but it wasn't blue and pink. And I think it had lit buttons or something or other. So it was a little bit different. There was also, of course, the class of 81, which is fine, but that's not the same thing as this. So you basically had like half of this cabinet on one side and Galaga on the other half. So
and say it with me,
wasn't the
folks.
same.
Do we like split cabs?
Well, that was an exception because there was an arcade precedent for that.
It's true.
But,
It's true.
Yes,
But still.
Yeah, the dedicated, I think for me, the dedicated art execution, the whole thing, it's got to be this. And this looks great with the lean back screen, everything else that we expect from a deluxe. So, yeah, it's a good looking cab.
Looking forward to having it.
Yeah. So, all right. Let me just take that down. There was also, I'm going to pull up the, there was a larger Pac-Man for sure. I think this was maybe expected but unexpected at the same time. So, there's always got to be a Pac-Man because that's what pays the bills. So here I've got comparison between what we just saw today. So this is a Pac-Man Supreme series for 2026. The one in the middle is the Pac-Man XL from a few years ago. It's also the same thing I've had behind me. And then on the right is, of course, the original Pac-Man that we all know and love. What do you see that's different?
There was a judgment call made here, Paul.
I think there was a judgment call.
There was definitely a judgment call that was made here. And I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say something very controversial. Some people might like it and some people might not.
Yeah. So
I don't know. That might be a controversial position, but I think I'm going to hold it. I think I'm going to hold to it.
yeah, so the good old Reddit explain it like I'm 5. I mean, I don't think I actually need to, and that's kind of the joke. But obviously, the one on the left has a nearly vertical screen orientation that literally no one has asked for. Now, the justification...
To be fair, no one was asking for Pac-Man, period. So, like, whatever they did here, someone was going to be upset about something.
I suppose. But yeah, so supposedly the justification was it's more family friendly. And I take that to mean your super short person, your child, can more easily see the screen because it's not in the laid back orientation that, we have traditionally had. I suppose there is some truth to that, but there's also furniture that exists called stools that you could maybe stand on, or perhaps...
I know a guy who wants to buy stools at Arcade1Up Official.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
So
some more stools.
I don't know on this. I feel like, we were talking earlier about that lean back, you're in that sort of cocoon gaming space.
It's like horse blinders, right?
Yeah.
It creates like a movie theater effect where everything gets dark and all you can see is the game, and it just makes it feel larger.
Right.
Which is always what we're looking for on this show.
Yeah. It's got to be a little larger. Yeah.
It's just got to feel big. It's just got to feel bigger. It doesn't have to be bigger. It just has to feel bigger.
Oh my, there's so many ways that could go. So that's the one issue I have with this, but there is some good. And I think the good in this is maybe more subtle, but I appreciate it, and I want to make sure it's noted. So if you look at the one in the middle, that's the XL version that we saw at Costco, the one that I've got and all that. The horizontal banding, it's edge banding, and the original was T-molding, this is actually edge banding, was red. Don't know why, that's just what we got. So at the top where the marquee is, then of course in the front there at the control panel, it was red for no apparent reason whatsoever. Now they've gone back to black, which is excellent because that's what the original was. Now I will say the prototype that you might have seen from Comic-Con had red. So I asked Arcade1Up about that. Apparently the render is more correct. So what you're seeing here on screen with the black, that's supposedly what it's going to be, which I think is great. Small detail, but that's a win. Another big thing for me, no huge Arcade1Up logo right on the front. You've got it on the coin door, sure, and a little bit around the bezel, I think, at the top.
Smart choice. Smart choice.
It's subtle. That's a win. And I've noticed that actually about all of their newly introduced cabinets. So somebody got the message there. Thank you. That's awesome.
It looks so sharp. I like how they did it. Personally, I like how Iconic did it the best, where it's so subtle, like it's literally just on the coin door itself, like on the coin slot.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the coin door, to me, that's fine. That's what they've already got the molding for.
Right.
I'm not going to ask anyone to remake the coin door, but yeah, taking that label off.
Well, and you can.
I think that's smart.
On the coin door, and I've done that. You guys can't tell because it's too small, especially now in this view. But on every single Arcade1Up coin door I have, you can pop off that chromed Arcade1Up logo, spray paint it black, stick it back on, and you'll barely even notice it. So there you go. There's a DIY for you. So why don't they light up the coin doors? So that, I keep bringing that up. It's a club costing issue. So they want to make it as low. I don't want to say just low cost like it's cheap, but they want to make it as right priced as they can for that club store price point. And believe it or not, apparently lit coin doors are one of those things that, has to be cut to hit certain price points. So there you go. And that's why we're still not seeing lit coin doors on every Supreme. I'm going to keep pushing for it. I think at that price point, it should be one of the differentiators between that and the next thing down, the Deluxe.
So you're saying if they were really going to make a machine for the fans, if they were going to do a fan service machine, you think that light up coin doors would be like a required feature, Paul? Is that what you're seeding into the conversation?
I mean, if they ever did such a thing, yeah. One day,
for all the kids who dropped out of English class, that's a literary technique called foreshadowing. So stay tuned.
Yeah. So there you have it. That's my take on it. I mean, I don't know. What are you thinking about it, Kevin?
I have questions. I also have 10,000 Deluxe with the slanted back screeds, so I'm not terribly concerned with it. I imagine there's probably. I've seen these before. This will be me speculating, so this is not anyone told me. I do know that sometimes with the club stores, the buyers will say, "This is what we want. This is how we want it to look." Maybe something like that happened. I think a lot of times we just assume that when a brand makes a product that they had 100% control over every single factor, and that there wasn't a customer requesting something specific. Sometimes those requests are things that you're like, yes, there's no tails on Sonic, or sometimes there are things you don't. So I'll give them a little bit of grace, but it's interesting. It seems like you could just do it the normal way.
Again, we talked about different things that we look at sometimes, the unforced error. Like, it's one of those things that didn't necessarily have to be that way. The original way they executed it, there wasn't a problem with it. No one was out there saying, like, I can't see the screen, the angles are bad, it's washed out.
I think that's probably a broad statement to say that there was nobody out there.
Well, that I've heard.
Paul, you are also, for people who don't know, Paul is 6'13". So for him, he actually needs to look down at every single arcade.
I just brushed the dust off the top.
For stubby trolls such as myself, maybe the straight monitor, the straight up and down. It does sound like, though, that there had been some feedback that they had gotten from people before that not everybody liked that, and some people wanted. Hey guys, guess what? There's going to be a Pac-Man released next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. So, however you want your Pac-Man, if you wait around just long enough, you will get it.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't think they closed the door on any of these, including Ms. Pac-Man. When everybody said, it's canceled, it's going, like, no, they didn't say that. They said it's not happening this year. That's a big difference. So, yeah.
Well, James hates everything. That's because you used AI. We know AI creates slop. That was not accurate. It made me much girthier around the midsection than I am in real life. I have a very chiseled physique, if not a little fluffy.
There were also two of you in most of those scenes, dancing with yourself.
Yes, I was dancing with
running
myself.
through the forest with yourself.
Which is fine. I prefer that.
Anyway,
so for the title that nobody was actually interested in, we've spent the most time talking about it.
That's how we do it.
Here's
another one. The old pub table.
I dig the pub tables, dude.
Do you?
I dig the pub. It's something different. It's something different. So we had Spreetail had always sold the cocktail. Well, I can't say cocktail table because I think that got copyrighted. The head-to-head shorter tables. But it's cool to see these coming out with the taller height. Obviously, it's a dual purpose type thing. So I think they're slick for a game room. But yeah, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
Well, I was talking to Damien Retro Day about a week and a half ago, and he specifically asked me, like, hey, do you think cocktail tables, the head-to-head style, do you think they're dead? And I said, I don't think they're dead per se. I mean, I think there's still some interest around that, but obviously we don't have anything specific. Now, this one was new to me. I didn't expect another pub table, but at the same time, this pub table, in fairness, is really just it's the 2024 release with a slight change in game titles.
Okay.
So you still got the 10 Bandai games, but instead of I think Rally X and Tower of Druaga, I don't even know how you pronounce that. I never played it. You get Pac and Pal instead, and I think maybe something else. So there's a couple small modifications, but it's essentially the same thing, same price point. So if you liked the form factor and you missed it then, but you still want it, well, now you got that option. So I think, cool. But
Unchained 81, looking for a larger monitor on it. For reference, this isn't one that's in my catalog. So this is one where if you think my opinion is too gentle on it, it doesn't help me at all. So that's fair. I just think they're cool. I agree. It would be... It seems like with all that space, you could put in a larger monitor, right? Like
that does, yeah.
That is a fair, that's a fair call out. But again, I think someone said, "Hey, it's kind of a little bit gimmicky. It's not really for like playing." I could see that. To me, this would be something where it's like you've got a game on in the background. You've got your beers in here. It's a commercial break, and you're just kind of diddling around, playing a game for a little bit in between shows or something. Like, I think that would probably be cool. I don't know that I would be able to, for any length of time, like, look straight down and play a game. It's like, to me, this isn't the same as like an actual arcade machine. But they're cool. You sit down at them, you play around with it for a little bit, you drink a little bit, you put your food on it when you're not playing it. It's furniture. It's furniture that has a game in it.
I think it's a valid point to say that screen, when you split it in half, gets pretty small feeling. And to your point, the angle, where you're basically looking straight down from a seated position, it's not exactly your long play experience. But
no, but it's again, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's furniture with a game in it. And you can buy one, I guess, at Costco. So there you
go. Well, let's get to some other stuff here that we've definitely got things to talk about. I think one of the most, at least for me, one of the most anticipated reveals that we saw today, if I can actually find the thing, but we can just talk about it while I look for assets, was OutRun.
Okay.
So that's obviously one that's been out there before. But not for several years, and never as a Supreme.
There we go.
So, here we go. We've got the original Arcade1Up version on the left, obviously, with the riser. It was also available in a sit-down version. In fact, the sit-down version came first. The upright, I think, actually ended up being much more popular. Then, of course, the one in the middle is the brand new Supreme version. This is, of course, a render. If you watch any of the videos from people that attended Comic-Con today, you can see the real thing that they're actually playing, or at least the prototype, I should say. And then on the right-hand side is the original. And, for me, the thing is I'm comparing things to the original all the time, and I feel like this gets pretty darn close, like maybe a solid 90% toward looking passable as an original. So we basically got the same actual height as the original, which is cool. Similar proportions. I think some other minor things that I've heard about in terms of this particular product. I think the pedals have been upgraded. I don't know exactly to what extent, but I think from what I understand, the pedals have been upgraded from the original, which the original was not good in that regard. That was one of the most criticized things. Again, there's also no excessive Arcade1Up branding on it, which is fantastic. Now, we do have an OutRun logo on the front. That, to me, isn't offensive. That's the name of the game. It's not a full game list like we've had in the past, so that works for me. And I think all the other main things are there. Now, if I had to criticize it, because, of course, I'm looking at it from a critical eye, there's some proportions that are still a little wonky to me. That marquee looks a little squished. The height doesn't appear quite in proportion to some other aspects. Not terrible, but feels like it could be a little bit taller. The control deck that the steering wheel sits on seems really large. I mean, if you look at the control deck of the original, it's fairly narrow. I wonder if the screen could sit down any further. Like the screen really looks like it's up pretty high, and maybe that's the render. The prototype didn't look quite as bad, so might be just something going on there. The coin door, correct me if I'm wrong on this, I don't think the coin door is lit on this one either.
I don't believe so. That sounds like a really premium feature that you'd have to special request.
Yeah, I know. So that's a thing. I think a lot of these games too that we've seen, the 19-inch and the 17-inch, they're using 5:4 ratio monitors instead of 4:3. I guess that's just kind of what's available, but that does mean there are some concessions either to things being slightly stretched or squished if they don't account for that properly in the emulation. Not quite sure how they're handling that. So those are my critiques. Some, I'll say, proportional aesthetic kind of things for the most part. The game list is identical to the 2020 release. It does include Rad Valley. That was an update that you could get. Originally, it was like a software update, sort of like a hidden, kind of almost like an Easter egg sort of thing. The stand-up version always had all 5, but the sit-down only came with 4 originally. But yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with this. Again, it's as tall as the original. The screen size is almost identical. The screen size of the original was 20 inches. This is, I think, 19 and a half. It's going to be the BOE IPS. Yeah, what do you think, Evan?
I mean, it's a racing cab now. Great title, and you've got it in a Supreme size. I mean, I definitely think that there's people who've been looking for that, right? So that's the thing.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I know. I always zone out when you start going into all the measurements. My ADD kicks in, and I'm just like, okay, here Paul goes. He's shopping for lumber at Home Depot again. Just this many inches here, this many inches there. I just have jokes, and then I zone out. But it's a really sharp looking machine, right? Let's be honest. I saw someone in the chat and said they actually thought the riser version was kind of cooler in some ways. I guess if you like the red along the bottom, but as far as the standard goal of, hey, try to make it look as close to the original as possible, I think it looks like they pretty well nailed that, which is good to see. I would be curious, and I don't know the answer to it, but why the Sega badging isn't on it. Like that Sega badging is pretty iconic. So I'd kind of expect to see that Sega badging, but again, a lot of these things they have to go through licensor approval and stuff like that. So I could absolutely be ticking off somebody, and I don't want to do that.
Well,
I don't want to push too hard. But,
I mean, the original Arcade1Up didn't have the Sega either, obviously, and I wondered the same thing. So I kind of assumed it was a licensor situation, but I don't know.
Yeah, no. So that is an interesting call out that I would say. But yeah, I mean, it comes with a full games list. It looks sharp. And have there been, history better than me, Paul? Have there been any Supreme or XL size drivers yet?
None.
So even from if you're someone who's going to get this and then down the road maybe swap out the board and make it a driver, like this gives people a larger form factor to do that with. Hey, there is going to be a deluxe version as well. It'll probably look exactly like that, but just with a locked aspect ratio, and this time down and to the left. But I think it's a really sharp cab. I'm excited to see how it does. And that'll be the racing cab of the year, right? So let's see. But definitely a great game to have.
Yeah, no, and I think a lot of people pick it up just because of what you just asked. There has never been a Supreme or XL size racing title ever. So just having anything in that genre is a win. I think a lot of us, I pulled up Console Fanboy's, his statement here about wanting a Daytona. I think that's the thing. Like there's two things happening at once. We want many more titles in the Supreme or XL size. We also want new titles. So now we're getting more of the expected titles in a Supreme, which is great, but we still want the new titles. That's the other half of the equation that hasn't been met yet. So my personal hope is 2027 might be the year we see some of that, but we kind of have to go through some of these more expected ones first, but we'll see.
I mean, but still, you know, kudos to Arcade1Up for going ahead and giving us a new form factor in Supreme, right? Like that's always,
heck yes, yes.
You know, that's always something cool when we get, you know, for the modding community, especially when they want to come out and do something. Getting a new form factor in that large size. Yeah, I'd say that was a good win for them at
100%.
So, yep.
Yeah, this is one I would seriously consider picking up for the form factor. And B Kirby, Bill, thank you for that. Always awesome to see who's hanging out with us. Maybe, you know, not necessarily active in the chat, but appreciate you helping out with the memberships.
Don't be strangers. But it looks like Nate's inviting everybody to his house for pizza and outrun as soon as this comes out. So I think we'll have to take him up on the offer. Kevin, am I selling Sega stickers? No, I don't. I don't sell Sega stickers. But that would be maybe that's what I need to do. Go get some vinyl.
You don't do random things that might piss off licensors.
Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
I don't even joke about it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. That's the thing. You know, a little competition couldn't be terrible. You know, I love it.
John didn't say no either.
He didn't say no. Here's a vote for Daytona again. That's one of those that keeps coming up. I know we see Spy Hunter a lot because it's funny, but Daytona has come up for years. So yeah. I'm just trying to catch up here. See if there's anything else.
Some people think it's cool. Some people aren't fans.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I think we're pretty well caught up.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. What do you got next, Paul?
Yeah. Well, I think the other big one that we saw, it's going to be Street Fighter, which, you know, I think when people first heard the idea that there might be another Street Fighter, it was sort of like, wait, really? Did anybody know about the one that was just released from this other company? So,
how interesting.
Yeah.
How interesting.
So let me see if I can find us an image of that. I got one right here. Just pull this up.
Provolone Joe looking for a cruising or a crazy taxi. Probably not the
yeah.
only one.
Heck yeah, not by a long shot, he's not. So yeah, we got a Street Fighter Supreme, an HS5 style, which is more or less what you're seeing on the right-hand side there. It's a little tricky to even to find good representative images of an HS5 because they were always conversion cabinets from, like Dynamo is the company that made this cabinet. They different HS types of cabinets. And they could be used for a lot of different games. But this was a common one that had been used for Street Fighter. So, you know, you slap the graphics on that you got from your kit from Capcom and you converted it into more or less what you see here on the right. So on the left, we have what was introduced today, the Street Fighter Supreme. I don't think I need to be, any more discreet about it than this. It's got artwork.
I'll just call it out. I mean, there's other YouTubers in the space. I'll just pull out Michael B. He's always said that the plain black artwork is just an absolute lost opportunity. But he's really been pitching for these companies to take a creative route, give us something that we've never seen in the wild before. And really just let your imagination fly, I think might allegedly be a quote from Michael B. directly. So I'm sure Michael B. is a huge fan. I don't think I've misrepresented him in any way, shape, or form. But this artwork, this is a choice that you could have for your Street Fighter. So...
Yeah.
Michael B. Disagreeing in chat, but I don't know if we're 100% sure that's the real Michael B. Because what I said totally sounds like something he would have said.
Well, and so let me pull up something else here too. I was kind of don't want to say confused isn't the right word. I was a little surprised by the artwork, and I was trying to figure out, does that exist somewhere? Is that, I'll say, canon within the Capcom world, and I'm just not aware of it? Because such things happen. The closest I could find was something like one of these, which, you know, original like marketing materials for these games back in the day. I couldn't find anything that was identical to the artwork that they used. I have a hard time believing it was commissioned just for this product. So maybe there is something out there. I couldn't find it, so I'd be curious to know more about that. But it's a choice.
Bring that artwork back up.
Yeah.
Bring that artwork back up.
Oh, all right, all right. Let me reshare it.
Because I'm sure, no, not that artwork, the actual cab.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah, bring the cabs back up.
See, when you say artwork, I'm actually looking for art. Okay, let me get the cabinet. Let's see. Get the cabinet just by itself right here. All right. So let me throw this back up. All right.
I really like my Alpha 2 artwork, Paul. In this moment, I really love that Alpha 2 artwork. Hey, look, all right. So execution wise, hopefully they fix that line. That's probably part of the, I don't know, maybe it's a sample or the render was just a little bit off.
Yeah, I mean, if you really look at the render, the joysticks are cut off. I mean, if you really look at the render, it's clearly not. You know, there's seams all over the place.
Like, I'd like to see that. If I'm in my not necessarily authentic recreation, but I'm just into I guess artwork. It's interesting. Someone's gonna love it. It's probably not going to be someone in this chat. I know it was never an original cabinet, but I still think the Alpha 2 artwork is reigning champion as the most beautiful Street Fighter cabinet that we've had access to. That's an opinion. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's better than, that I like that better than, whatever, the originals and all those. I get the authentic recreation. I am not someone who normally dives into that sort of debate. I think a beautiful cab is a beautiful cab. That said, if I'm to compare two cabs that never existed in the wild, I'm gonna go ahead and give John the W on that one with the the Alpha 2. It looks cool. It's something different. It's something different. If you don't like it and you slot it in with all your other arcades, you get the HS5 form factor. You get that the control deck is a lot more comfortable to play on. So it's nothing insurmountable. I've heard that there's companies that do cool things like fix side art and stuff like that. So I'm sure this is a great business opportunity for them.
Such companies do exist, and a lot of people have been already commenting about just covering it up. So that'll probably happen.
It's still the form factor. It's still the form factor. This is a club. This is a club thing. Maybe the club had some sort of say. Obviously, Mike B jumping in saying always go away from the original art. So good call out there, Mike B. James hates everything straight on. It looks authentic. So that's kind of my point. Most of us are going to have these all slotted in. So not justifying the choice, but if we're being honest, once they're slotted in, if you like the way from the front, it looks like an HS5. It's all blacked out, and then it's got the form factor. So that's cool, but that's also why my Alpha 2 is at an angle.
Well, and
because I can see it.
That's all true. Yeah, but if you're a retailer, I could see them saying, "I need something that looks interesting on my box, on the product,
exactly. Something that's that's going to grab people on the floor."
Right, and that plain, blue and red logo, kind of ain't it for retail purposes.
Right.
We know what that means and represents, but for retail, I could see a buyer saying, "No, give me something more interesting." So I don't know if that's the case, but I could make a justification. But speaking of justification, Steps actually has a really good point here. It's got the BOE screen. It's got online leaderboards, spectate. That infrastructure is already there and working.
Well, that was really important for a lot of people. You know, that was an important factor, and so for those people who really appreciate that, that could affect your buying decision, right?
Well, it's a fair point. And the other thing, too, that's kind of interesting that some people have started to pick up on is the game list, which is very different from what Iconic is doing. It's actually really close to the old legacy version. That was the one that kind of had the ears, they were called, like on the sides. Now, it does lose some games. There's not Darkstalkers, Strider, Ghosts and Goblins, stuff like that. That's not on it, but it picks up King of Dragons, Giga Wing, which I was surprised to see. That's one on the Iconic. Bionic Commando, Cyberbots. But it's also got the original Street Fighter, which I don't think we've seen before. It adds shooters like 1941, 42, 44. Street Fighter 2 new challengers, which is interesting. So, there's wins and losses. I think if you're a pure fighting game fan, I personally think the fighting game lineup on the Iconic cabinets is stronger. But if you are a fighting fan that does online multiplayer, that's currently a moot point because you can't do it. So to me, that conversation doesn't become real until Iconic delivers on online play. Then you can say, okay, does it play well? And which games do I prefer? Right now, this is the one that theoretically would be coming out with a functioning online infrastructure. So
if that's important to some people. They've been very vocal about that. And then also, let's be fair. Iconic does have their update coming out next week, which will start to bring in those features. But yeah, I mean that's worth calling out. Call out the W where the W exists. On those expected features, they're able to deliver out on day one. So,
speaking of calling out, apparently we have had. Did we have Street Fighter the original on one of the cabinets before? Maybe I missed it because I never played it. I don't remember.
I don't believe so, but I'm usually wrong.
Yeah, saying we did. So I didn't remember that. So my bad if we did. I'm sure someone played it at some point. But yeah, okay. Yeah. So. That, I don't know. That's an interesting execution, I'll say, for...
It'll do well in the clubs.
For that product. Yeah.
It'll do well in the club. It'll do well in the clubs. There's people who, like the artwork. I don't think... If I just looked objectively at it, if we weren't talking about, like, hey, did they, like, recreate or whatever, I think it's a nice-looking cab. I do offer... some sort of grace. I know not everyone does this, but I do kind of have a spot of like, hey, take a shot, put some artwork on. I don't think it looks bad. I think it looks nice in that respect. But it's, I like mine better.
I will like mine better in probably about a week and a half.
That's correct. When you and I are getting our asses handed to us by Moat. Making him work for 15 seconds.
I don't even care about the online. I just don't want to wake up with another excessively colorful screen that doesn't make any sound.
I think that those days are about to be in the rear view mirror.
I think they are too. I can't wait.
Remember when we used to talk about delays on shipping? We haven't talked about those in a while. Same thing with the screens. It's stressful while they're working on it, but once it's done, it's done. So
yeah.
And then there's one more thing. One more thing, Paul.
Well, we've got 117 people that have been hanging out with us so far, just waiting to find out what that could be. Is
there one more title that is actually coming in 2026?
I heard
that wasn't announced at San Diego Comic-Con.
I heard there's one more.
What do we have anything? Anything? Apparently we don't. All right, well, you guys, thank you.
Wait, I think there's something coming.
Is there something? Oh, you know how to put this button. There is officially confirmed for 2026.
Officially confirmed.
We made console fanboys stay on for the entire time. And now we dance around what we talk about. Let the speculation begin. So, finally, waiting to do the dance for a year now.
We'll have to clip all that out because we can't use any of that music, but that's okay.
It is official. We are announcing that this will be a 2026 available title, and we're going to get a copyright strike for that music. I tried to talk over it as much as possible. Hopefully, I ruined the algorithm.
We'll take it out. There's tools for that.
We'll take it out.
Good. We'll take it out. But
so what can we talk about, Paul?
Man,
we've got Mortal Kombat coming in a Supreme form factor. What kind of options have we worked in here? Oh, light up coin door, perhaps.
Oh, yes. That little thing that knows.
That little thing. Have. Will this have a light up coin door? It will have a light up coin door.
Yes.
Is
Excellent.
This potentially going to have upgraded controls?
I heard that it might.
Let me look. I think we've got upgraded controls. I think those are confirmed. Yeah. And then we're obviously putting on some Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 tagged on here, so I think we know what artwork may or may not have been in the running here.
And I think it's fair to say that so the reason you're not seeing a render or final product is there's still details being worked out. So until those things are finalized, still got to go through approvals, still got to get licensors all lined up, and got to make sure we play by the rules. So we can't say or show exactly, hey, you're not getting details. This is going to be like the most painful tease of your life. Because this is what we are sharing tonight. Yeah, this is coming out. This is official now for 2026, and now we're working with the licensor on all the artwork and everything along those lines. But the goal here is to deliver on as many of the requests that people have made as humanly possible. So. Obviously can't confirm much more than that at this point, but if you're doing your budget, maybe you want to work this one in because it's coming. So I think
with a K.
Yeah, and it's fair to say this is a Q4 product.
This is a Q4 product. Yep.
And when we've been talking about it, we've been talking about this as being a fan-oriented product. So trying to deliver on some of the things that we know people want from a Mortal Kombat cabinet. Obviously, the midway shape is what we're going for. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 artwork is what won the poll. So I think it would be heading in that direction, in terms of what it would probably look like, if you can kind of imagine that. And I can pull up some original UMK3 cabinets for anyone who wants to see that. But and let me just
pull up some UMK3. Is it 100% UMK3? Because I'm sick of MK2, can't stand MK2. Oh, so God bless Arcade1Up. There you go, Arcade1Up. You have been blessed by the console fanboy. So yeah, we gotta be careful on what we're claiming, you know what I mean? So we can't until licensors officially sign off on everything. We can't say definitively 100%. Here is the artwork that we're working on, but here could potentially be some source material that we were looking at for this project.
Yeah, and Vic Vicious, thanks for the super chat. Would like to know what retailers will carry this. Well, the buyer, who's right here.
Yeah. So obviously we're talking about in store for our retailers. Right now, obviously no one has an order in for it. I would suspect that like a Nebraska Furniture Mart would probably be interested in these. RC Willie is one that's carrying Arcade1Up products again. So obviously we'll give them the opportunity to purchase into them. ABT out by that's the Chicago area. I imagine they would be interested in it. If you're down in the Florida area, I'll make sure City Furniture knows that these are an option. So we've got a few people lined up, but definitely going to have these out in the stores as soon as humanly possible.
Yep, this will be the first time, obviously, that we're seeing a Mortal Kombat in the Supreme size. I've been waiting for this since the XL size format was introduced years ago.
I imagine that the feeling I'm feeling right now is how the Fed feels every day when they print money. It literally is this easy. It seems like, let's make Mortal Kombat in a Supreme size, and let's do everything in our power to not F anything up on it. So that's the mission statement.
Yeah. Well, and okay, sorry, Vic, I might have missed that. My apologies. Thank you for the super chat. But he did also ask, is it possible that we'll get all 3 skins over time? I imagine.
So that's
the question.
That's something I think we've talked about that on the show.
We've hinted at it, yeah.
And as far as like how would you continue this cab? I want to see how this one performs before I make promises on the future.
Yeah.
But what I would love to see something where it's like, hey, we've got we got the Mortal Kombat cab. Controls feel good. The marquee lit up nicely. Coin door looks sick. This year we do it in one version. The next year we do it in another. That kind of thing. That's something that I'm open to. Right now I'm in 2026, and I am amped about this one. So
Absolutely.
We'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, I can't wait. And even just that proper midway shape. So if you're really ambitious and you were like, yeah, whatever. I like the original MK1 art. To be able to, it's the same shape, obviously, for any of these midway style cabinets. So you could just go to town and do your own thing. But for people that are maybe less familiar with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 and what you're seeing on the screen here, MK3 was the original version, obviously, of the game, but it was kind of rushed out of the studio. Didn't even have any of the ninja characters, so your Sub-Zeros, your Scorpions, like those characters weren't even in the game. It was so rushed. So they kind of came back later and said, all right, we're going to completely fix this, rebalance some things, do whatever. We're going to call it Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So they kept the same cabinet, put in the new marquee artwork, and obviously the game is different. But that's kind of why it looks a little bit like a mashup. You got the MK3 art on the side, but the UMK3 marquee, that's how it was. So that's the explanation behind that. But yeah.
James hates everything. Gave me a question I can answer definitively. No.
Yeah.
No. No. There will not be a trackball.
But then how will you play Paperboy on it?
I'm not going to. I'm going to play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously we don't have a finalized game list, but there's been talk more than once about, trying to have slightly more focused cabinets. I mean, it's kind of funny because we've sort of swung the pendulum. At one point it was like, well, we don't just want 3 games, we want more. They gave us 10, 12, 14. Now it's sort of swinging back the other way, saying, well, give us a more dedicated cabinet that just has this 1 or 2 or 3 games from this specific.
I think it's more specific than that. I mean, the feedback has been pretty focused on, like, yes, that game technically could go in that cabinet, but from a control standpoint, no. Right. No, it absolutely cannot go in this cabinet.
Yeah.
Like, this is not an experience I want to enjoy. So, don't mess up.
Yeah.
Console fanboy. Just have the Mortal Kombat games. No Paperboy. Please don't mess this up with Clax either.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of been the motto. Just don't mess it up. B. Kirby, thank you for the super chat. I thought Basic Fun buying Arcade1Up, they weren't getting Arcade1Up licenses and more. Well, I guess, I don't necessarily know that the acquisition included any licenses per se. My assumption is they've had to kind of re-earn those, but I don't really know how it worked over there, so. Yeah.
Well, I think I know there's going to be 10,000 questions, and I can guarantee you that unless your question is, will it have a trackball, my response is going to be, you're going to have to stay tuned. So we are, like I said, we are in the what's been submitted for what we would like to see made. I took as much of the feedback from community and by basically going back and forth, comparing it to original artwork. So our goal is to make this something that you guys would really be proud to have, and that you would enjoy playing. So once we get the details, then we will obviously keep sharing those out. Give the Arcadosphere something to chat about. Keep them talking.
Well, it's going to be an exciting Q4. I mean,
I bet that Klarna gets used this year, Paul.
it might be being used in my household. I mean, there's probably at least 2 titles today that I'm already mentally justifying and figuring out. All right, it's Survivor Island. Which one of you has to go?
All right, so put it in the chat, guys. Looking at Paul's backdrop.
Yeah.
What 2 titles get pulled out?
Is it
what?
The Iconic, the Fast and the Furious, the Custom Soul Calibur, which is currently playing UMK3, by the way, Pac-Man, or the kid favorite, Claw Machine?
Well, you're never going to be able to get rid of the Claw Machine.
No,
because
I can't.
I also have a Claw Machine,
I know.
and it is by far the most popular game. Seriously, guys, this is not shilling. If you have children who live in your home who play around the arcade, I guarantee you there will be no arcade played more than the Claw Machine. Like, this is factual. Paul and I have talked about it so many times, and like, I am always finding these balls all over my house because it's just like they come down. I've literally gotten to the point where it's like I'm putting their toys back in it. Like, hey, you left this out.
Right.
Go get it.
Yeah. No, it's so good. And it's so good for like motivation too. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Report cards, chores, you name your thing. And it's.
So
it's
Mark Gainey is saying swap out Fast and Furious for Outrun.
I'm thinking about it. Fast and Furious is not a good looking cabinet or anything else, but the games are fun. That was the thing.
You don't think it's a good looking cab?
Well, okay, so I'm not a huge fan of Deluxe to begin with, so that's
Fair.
a negative for me. I don't hate it, I guess, but they're fun. It's fun to play. My kids play it,
It's a good one.
But I'm considering.
Okay,
that.
so there might be a Fast and Furious up for sale.
That could be it. And I think the other almost unanimous choice was the Pac-Man. Now, what's interesting is, does that go up in value because it's one of the laid-back Pac-Man XLs now with a laid-back screen?
There you go.
So,
I mean,
I don't know, but I could see that. The other option, of course, is, at some point, does the Soul Calibur go? It's not a factory machine. Now there's no Soul Calibur here or any other number of games you might want to play, Power Stone, Tekken, you name it, it's playing it. But it doesn't have licensed art and everything else that I'd really like to have if somebody would make it. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one.
I mean, so let's see. So if you're putting in Supremes now, it's almost like Fast and the Furious and Soul Calibur go, because then you're kind of in one. You're in
family.
one size,
yeah.
Right?
Well, the Soul Calibur was built off of a Shack XL cabinet, so it currently is taller than Pac-Man and closer to the Iconic. Not quite, but it's got the height and the width to make.
Is the ratio correct on it? Is the ratio 100%?
It's more correct than certain unnamed cabinets, but I'll let that go.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the other thing is, I mean, you have a bedroom. We're all grown up. Like, what more fun could you have in your bedroom than Ultimate Mortal Kombat?
I can't think of anything, honestly. And
I mean, that's an easy swap. Your wife doesn't need a nightstand.
well, the cool thing is if I do that, I won't have a wife to have an opinion for. So
So then you don't need that whole big bedroom to yourself. Just put an inflatable mattress in there, but you have a second level arcade.
I've already tried to expand into the main part of the basement, because then there would be, I don't want to say unlimited, but many more opportunities. That has not gone over well. So I'm stuck to my home office / arcade and collectible area. So it's a tough one. That's why everything I purchase is very considered. But anyway,
taking out the Time Crisis wall doesn't seem like the right answer, though.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I don't have it running right now, but yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but it fits against the wall really nicely. I can't fit a full-size cabinet. It comes out into the room too far. It would like be bumping into my shoulder.
What's on the other side of that wall?
That's all your like consoles and collectibles.
No. You're
TV.
on your
on the other side.
Like
Yeah.
what's on the other side of the wall? Like, could you cut out the wall?
What? Oh no, that's like that's dirt.
Oh, that's the outside.
That's the outside. It's the back of the house, and then
Okay.
on the other side, I got a laundry room, so I got nowhere to go. So it's
Do you have stacked laundry units?
at like Europeans and apartments and stuff. No.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. So what we'll do, I'll come over. I'll bring a Sawzall with me, and we'll take this wall with your toys on it, and we'll just hack that wall out. We'll get you a stacked unit for your laundry. That's all you need. That's all you need, and then move the wall back, and then because we're only giving you good marriage advice. If your wife goes down to do laundry and she says, "Hey, this room is too cramped," then all you need to do is say, "Maybe you're too big to be in the room," and then she won't argue with you anymore.
No, that'll be the last argument.
She'll take the criticism and be like, "Wow, I'm grateful for the size of this room."
Oh yeah, right. That's how it always goes.
And if she gets upset, just be like, "Hey, calm down," and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Any wives in
I've
the
heard that
chat
too.
just want to fact check my theory? Would this go over? Am I giving Paul a suicide mission?
I saw Mrs. Wortman was in the chat there. Maybe she wants to advise on whether or not saying "just calm down" has ever worked in the history of mankind.
Or, honey, you're just too big for the room.
This is an episode full of bad life advice.
Do any of the wives in the chat think that these are appropriate strategies for Paul to use to be able to fit more arcades?
Oh, man. Console Fanboy, thank you for the super chat. He's going to have the documentary length episode each week. Hey, I will publicly go to bat to say if and when there are samples of this product that go out for review, Console Fanboy absolutely has to get one. If for instance, if there was somebody that didn't know me and said, well, hey, does your partner in crime, Paul, want one? The answer is no. Send it to Console Fanboy.
I've never heard of him, but he has my email address.
Nobody in this space has.
I'm almost scared because I told him that this will be the cab to end all cabs for him, and now I have to deliver. So now I'm like a little bit nervous because I know his expectations are going to be high. Mrs. Wortman came back and let us know that my logic was flawless. And great marital advice. B. Kirby, my advice is spot on, Paul. So
apparently,
we've definitely got experienced adults in the chat who are letting you know this is just good. This is good marriage advice. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
And I've got some, sort of engineering minds here saying, like, we'll put them back to back in the middle of the room. I did think about it one time. Could I do some kind of situation where you had like aisles? But the room is deceptive. On camera, it doesn't maybe look as small as it is, but it's really pretty small. It's probably like 10 feet across. And I put one Iconic there, and it's half the room is gone because it's so deep.
It's girthy.
It is
girthy. Well, can you I think there's something in that wall with your toys on it.
I mean,
and I'm
maybe.
saying that because they're not Warhammer, and anything that's not Warhammer is just a toy. Unless it's at Moat's house, then I will not cross that line.
But I got my
treasures.
I got my G1 Transformers and my G1 G.I. Joe and my Legos.
Do I need to get into Transformers? Is this something that like people are collecting that I missed out on? Like,
well,
I keep
kind
hearing
of
people talking about their Transformers.
Kind of. It's a whole big ecosystem. Yeah.
Oh, is it another one? Are there people who talk about it and have
Oh,
opinions?
Well, and there's so many like sizes and because you get like the Japanese manufacturers too, and there's like different scales, and so like there's a certain scale that I go to. I put the G1 boxes behind it, but if I can't fit that many, so I go to a smaller scale for the figures. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
You sound like a nerd. And
maybe
if you were
little.
self-respecting, you would play Warhammer, which is a man's game.
It's could the toys be displayed above the cabs? Some of them, not all of them. I do have Ken doing his Hadouken up there. You can't see it, but
I think that's the answer. I think you go vertically. Yep, put in some shelving. Is that real brick or is that like a facade?
That's a facade.
That's a facade. All right, sick. So drill right through that bad boy. Put your shelving up there. Move your non-Warhammer silliness onto those shelves where you don't actually need to use it anyway.
The one issue might be that the door is right on this side. So when you come in, you can't be walking right into the side of an Iconic Arcade. It's kind of a...
Flip the door around.
So
it open the other way.
It does actually open the other way, but you still have to be able to walk into the room. These are challenges.
Paul, I bet you in person, you're about as big around as a soda can. Like, you don't need a full door. Just get like even a closet, like a bathroom closet door, would be more than adequate for you to enter this room.
We're gonna lose like all of our viewers trying to figure out my stupid situation. The good thing is it prevents me from just buying every cabinet I see, because then I really have to think through it. Like how much do I, am I invested in this literally?
Maybe there's a different room the claw machine could go into.
I've thought about that. Seriously that, but then it's like, well, I can't put it in one of the kids' bedrooms because then the other kid doesn't get it. I can't put it in the main living room because it's a claw machine in the living room, and I still do have a spouse. So I don't know. I'm thinking though.
Maybe take out the snack closet and put all the snacks in the claw machine.
Oh, I like that. You got to work for your treats. Yeah,
that's right.
I have thought about getting in the main part of our like in the main part of our basement. We already have like a pool table, like the whole thing. Like it could work. It's like a gaming area to begin with, but we got bookshelves and everything else. So then it's like, well, what do I do with the books? So, I don't know. I got problems.
Well, we got Amanda in the chat flexing how awesome she is. So, Paul, if you ever mess that up, we will all ridicule you to the end of time.
Look at that.
Look at that. Encouraging the ideas. Encouraging them.
I look at it this way. The fact that my wife lets me do this at all is a win, because this room could have been whatever. Exercise room. Whatever, laundry folding room. Who knows? But I got my space, so I'm okay.
She let you have a closet.
I'm all right with that.
Good for you, Paul.
It's like when you're a bachelor. It's like you don't need a big house. You just need a little space that's yours, a sofa, a TV, and a box of pizza, and you're good.
It's a true story. True story.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we had our announcements. We had our conversations.
I think we did it. So tune in next week. Maybe we'll have some more updates. Who knows? It's been a vibrant community over the past few days. Lots of words about stuff. So everybody's got words this week.
Yeah, so go ahead and get yourself a Tums and catch up on your latest telenova.
We didn't show any game rooms this week, but I'm still collecting them. So feel free to send them to us.
Absolutely, that's
emails on the channel.
Regular segment moving forward. Otherwise, throw your comments in, share it with somebody who is waiting for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Give us a thumbs up. Algorithms like that. If you're not subscribed, I don't know why. We want to talk to you again.
Speaking of which, we just hit 2,000 this week.
2,000.
I want to thank everybody that's hung around and told somebody else maybe, or whatever. Thank you.
And we know you each by name is something that would not be true to say, but
We mispronounce you all by name.
Yes. So bring more people so that it takes 20 minutes to read through the initial round of chats.
No,
we'll never cap it just to 10, will we, Paul? We will get through them. That's our commitment.
Because I appreciate them so much.
I still can't believe anyone shows up on a Thursday night, but here you all are. So.
We gained 1,000 people in 2 months and 1 day. I couldn't hardly believe it.
Nuts.
We doubled.
Is nuts.
So.
Well, thank you everybody for coming out with us on a Thursday night. As always, it was a blast. Hopefully we see you again soon. Otherwise, do all the YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Watch it again. Put it on repeat. Watch it with your spouse. Arcade Insiders and Chill. Keeping the marriages together. All right.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Take it easy, everyone. Catch up with you.